welcome to the Tradition channel, and today I'll be reacting to Slapped Ham. This is going to be a long one, it's about 43 minutes long, this video. It's scary videos filmed in India. Let's do this. Oops, come here. Try and make it a bit smaller. Okay.
How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. So today we have something a little bit special. It's some bonus content for the week. It's a huge compilation of some super scary video clips that are freaking the internet out. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content. Just like this. In this piece of creepy footage, two men are sleeping. They seem somewhat restless and are shifting their arms and legs around. Since sleep is a time for the brain to relax, some experts have suggested that humans may be able to sense paranormal activity more easily in this state. 50 seconds into the recording, the dorm room door opens up. It appears to open on its own because there's no one there. 20 seconds later, something barely visible enters the room. Viewers may notice a slight shift in the image. After a few more seconds pass, the legs of the man who is closest to the camera start to lift. The initial lift doesn't wake him up. He starts to stir awake as he's yanked toward the end of the bed, with his legs being pulled up into the dorm room's ceiling. As his legs are being lifted high enough for him to almost be in a headstand, the man realizes that he's being hoisted up and starts to fight whatever it is that's pulling him along. The spirit almost succeeds in pulling him entirely off the bed, but at the last moment it releases him. The boy sits up and looks towards the open door. He seems confused as he searches for whatever it was that lifted him up. He then gets up and walks out into the hallway, likely searching for a human culprit. However, it seems it was something more sinister that disturbed his rest. There are many.
Although why have they got a camera in the room? Odd that. Let's go see. There was activity prior to that, and who knows?
Many weird and wonderful creatures roaming this planet. Who knows what could be out there just waiting to be discovered? This footage from the YouTube channel Weird Sighting is making many people wonder what could be watching them in the dark. The footage is recorded from the inside of a car driving on a narrow dirt road with thick foliage on either side. The exact location of this road is unknown. The only light comes from the car's headlights. Unexpectedly, an unusual animal leaps out from the trees and bounds across the road. Watch. Here it is again in slow motion. The creature's large and dull brown in colour. It has a curved back and it moves quickly on all fours. It seems to have a tail or long tendrils that trail behind it as it jumps through the air. Based on the fleeting glimpse that we do get of the creature, it could fit the description of a Wendigo or Chupacabra, well-known cryptids that have long been found in North American folklore. The Wendigo is an Algonquin cryptid said to appear in times of famine to feed voraciously on anything or anyone it encounters. The Chupacabra is said to be a deadly creature that feeds on the blood of animals and sometimes humans. Could either of these legendary creatures be responsible for this strange footage? Some viewers believe that the video is more likely to be a hoax. They claim it was created using CGI as part of a guerrilla marketing campaign for the upcoming film The Tomorrow War starring Chris Pratt. The film features aliens that strongly resemble the one in this clip. Some think that the film studio made this video to go viral as a secret promotion for the film. So is this video a covert marketing attempt or something far more frightening? Let me know what you think down.
It does look very much like it. As soon as they show you that art concept. It definitely does look like it, doesn't it?
Below.
And even though it's potato quality, it does look CGI'd a bit, you know, on close up.
It seems that even bikers can be the victims of a ghostly encounter. In this video from YouTuber Mookie Jobs, this man has an experience that he won't soon forget. The clip shows a dark dirt road. There are no street lights, so the only light comes from his bike. Suddenly, a strange white shape appears in the distance. The figure seems to be approximately the size of a human, but amorphous with no defining features. As the bike approaches, the figure's lit up and almost appears to glow in the dark. The biker screams as he almost veers off the road. Many commenters on the video are certain that the footage is a hoax, stating the figure looks like someone just wearing a bedsheet. However, others cite the bright whiteness of the figure and its lack of discernible features as evidence the footage is real. Usually, lack of detail can be attributed to poor camera quality. However, in this case, the footage is quite clear. Even when you pause the clip or slow it down, the figure appears vague and ethereal, while the other details of the road and its surroundings are quite clear. Whether this is a human or something else, the figure in the video certainly seems to have frightened the man riding the bike. His terrified reaction is enough to convince many viewers that this truly was a real spiritual encounter. When two young girls are home alone, every sound and shadow has the potential to be creepy. However, in this video from Redditor Comfortable Stable 6, these girls definitely have a good reason to be terrified. While relaxing in their living room in Mizoram, India, the two girls see something unusual outside. Take a look.
Oh my god!
There appears
I've seen this one in the clip. I think it's one that Casper site reacted to. It looks like some little black shadow thing just leaping on top of this, you know, jumping up and down and saying.
to be a strange shadow reflected on the window to the balcony. They creep onto the balcony to take a look around, but everything outside is still and quiet. Yet, when they go back inside the room, there's clearly a moving shadow cast on the glass. There's clearly nothing in the room with the girls that could be casting the shadow. So what's going on here? One viewer suggests that the shadow resembles a leprechaun from Irish folklore. However, Indian culture has its own version of this mythic creature, the monopod. The monopod is a dwarf-like creature that only has one leg. This single limb is broad and strong, allowing the creature to move. The shadow clearly seems to be hopping, certainly reflects these ancient tales of a one-legged creature.
Oh my god!
Is there a more mundane explanation for this terrifying shadow? Or did these young women have an encounter with a creature many believe only exists in stories? With only this video to go on, the source of the bizarre shadow remains a mystery. Love to get your take on this strange piece of footage in the comments section below.
Whatever it is, they seem really genuinely scared, do you know what I mean?
Oh my god!
To be fair, they would close a window. They have a window. They had one that's open. I would close that and fucking close curtains.
Instagrammer ShivarmSona05 has shared a short clip that has sent collective chills throughout the internet. In the video, motorcyclists ride by on a bridge. The camera operator, also on a motorbike, rides slowly forward, and we can spot something on the left of frame. As the rider inches forward, we can make out what looks to be some kind of alien figure walking slowly forward. The entity is tall, slender, and has light brown, greyish skin. As other motorcyclists have a look, it stops in its tracks and turns around to face them. After a few moments, it turns back around and continues to stroll forwards. There's no denying that the entity resembles something straight out of an alien movie. However, I don't think this cameraman is going to win any awards in cinematography, as he fails to get a solid look at the figure. Frustratingly, the camera pans left just as they get close enough to get a better look. Some think this shoddy camera work is used to hide the fact that it's all just a hoax. So let us know what you think's going on here, or what you would do in this situation if you encountered such a strange figure. Let me know down below. Supposedly captured on a CCTV camera in a shopping mall in Mumbai, India, this next video shows little but suggests a lot. As the introduction to the video explains, rumours of ghosts and potential hauntings have long surrounded the mall. However, it seems that this might be the first time that anything paranormal has actually been caught on camera. The video itself is relatively short. The camera is focused on a pair of elevators, and the timestamp shows that the footage was captured a little after 2 AM on the 13th of June 2017. Seeing that that's in the middle of the night, it seems unlikely that there would be anyone else around. A few seconds into the video, the red chair in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen suddenly moves. It then remains motionless for a moment before being violently pulled across the floor. It's obvious that its movement is the result of some unseen force, but whether that's something supernatural or just a piece of string too thin to be seen by the camera is unclear. So what do you think this footage shows? Actual evidence of a poltergeist haunting, or perhaps a deceptive trick played by a bored security guard? While the authenticity of this clip is still open to debate, the idea that a ghost could manipulate an object with such force is certainly a scary one. This seriously scary video was uploaded to the YouTube channel Sachi Productions. The footage, supposedly captured on CCTV in Bangalore, India, appears to show a ghost making its way across the street. At one point, a car is even seen driving right through the figure without even noticing. As the clip continues, the figure briefly disappears, reappearing again soon after. Some viewers have suggested that this could be a clue that the video's been edited in some way. However, if you watch closely, the figure doesn't just suddenly vanish, but rather seems to fade away like a mist or vapour. The video's description notes that the site where this footage was captured is well known for accidents, and that several people have also claimed to have seen and felt a strange presence in the area. Towards the end of the video, a white car appears to pass right through the figure. However, unlike the previous instances, this time the figure completely vanishes. It's almost as if it entered the car as it drove away. Imagine suddenly glancing up at your rear vision mirror only to see a ghost staring back at you from the back seat. What would you do if this happened to you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Most of us assume that when we leave the office at night, nothing interesting will be happening near our desks until we return the following day. According to this footage by Banaka Tunes Video Manoranjan, Taken from a security camera in their office, that may not be the case. The anomaly in the footage was spotted when company management was reviewing the footage for maintenance purposes after the office had been empty for the weekend. The video is dark, but it appears to show a cubicle or reception desk. The office is still for several seconds, until the shadowy silhouette of a person appears from the shadows and walks straight toward the camera, fading away as it supposedly disappears into the wall. The figure appears out of nowhere and disappears just as suddenly. When this footage began circulating around the office, numerous employees began to feel uneasy about their workspace. Their discomfort was partly because they believe they know who is haunting them. 1 year before this paranormal footage was shot in the office in Bhopal, India, an employee of the company was found dead on the company premises. Many of the current employees are certain that the spirit spotted in this footage is that of their deceased co-worker. Often, one of the creepiest things seen in children's playgrounds are swings that seem to move though no one is around. In this video uploaded to YouTube by Rahul Singh, a playful spirit appears to take a ride on an innocent-looking swing set. Filmed in the middle of the day at Kayala B Block Park in India, the video shows a single swing moving even though no one's nearby. At first, it moves back and forth normally, and even though these movements could be caused by a strong wind, another swing mere inches away remains perfectly still.
It's gone funny. I was about to say it could have been a wind, but then if you look at the leaf's not moving either.
Soon, the swing's movements begin to change. At one point, it almost comes to a complete stop, before starting to move again.
I mean, they're moving a little bit, like there's a breeze. Oh, itchy back. But you know, they're not. If it was strong enough to push that, if there's wind that was strong enough to push that swing, those leaves would be like going. You know what I mean? And they're not. They're just gently moving. So it's really weird, isn't it?
The swing then begins to sway from side to side and in wide circles, completely different from its previous movements. All the while, the other swing remains motionless. After filming for about 30 seconds, the man behind the camera runs away from the potentially haunted playground. However, before he leaves, he manages to capture one last wide-angle view of the equipment. This shot clearly shows there's no accomplices hidden nearby to pull the swing with fishing line or wire. It appears that this playground might have captured the attention of a real fun-loving spirit. User RK on YouTube shared some footage that probably won't put you in the mood to take a night drive. The clip is filmed from the perspective of a rider and passenger on a motorbike. They're riding along a dark stretch of road towards the mountainous resort town of Ooty in southern India, a town that is famous for several haunted hotels. As the pair make their way along the quiet road, they see a figure dressed in a long hooded dress. This appearance seems to spook the riders as they scream into the camera. Unsettled by this encounter, they continue down the road for several minutes, when all of a sudden, the same figure appears on the road. Once again, the riders scream out as if they know for sure they've just seen a ghost. How is it possible the same figure was seen twice in two separate spots along this dark and eerie road? Was this really a restless spirit making itself known, or was it simply a case of mistaken identity? Has this security camera captured the moment a ghost walks through an office wall? This eerie clip was allegedly filmed on the second floor of Infosys, a technology company in Bangalore, India. The CCTV system seems to have captured an entity that resembles a woman in a white dress with long black hair. The figure floats through walls and has a translucent quality. A local newspaper looked into the incident and asked employees if they recalled anything unusual. One worker said they heard a strange knocking sound coming from the storeroom, but when they investigated, there was nothing that could have been making the noise. Some viewers have noted the cliché appearance of the alleged ghost, suggesting the footage is a hoax. Unfortunately, without more information, we may never know the true nature of this unsettling clip. This mysterious video was uploaded to Cine9 TV's YouTube channel in December 2016. It includes an excerpt taken from a security camera positioned inside a temple in Chennai, India. The statue seen in the clip is of Sai Baba, an Indian spiritual master who is believed by his devotees to be the supreme god. At one point in the video, the necklace around the statue's neck begins to move. Then, for a few seconds, the statue's chest appears to expand in and out, almost as if it's breathing. Finally, the entire statue falls to pieces. This is not the only time that a statue of Sai Baba has been caught moving on camera. In 2017, this remarkable footage was uploaded to Baba Savak's YouTube channel, and appears to show something even more mysterious. As someone showers the statue, its eyes suddenly open. Shocked onlookers can be heard in the background as the devotee continues pouring water. While both of these videos don't appear to have been doctored or manipulated in any way, it's not possible to know for certain without further investigation. Despite this, many devoted worshippers of Sai Baba fervently believe that the videos are genuine and that the events seen in the clips are real miracles. Have these mysterious statues really been caught moving on camera, or could there be another explanation for these scary events? This is some perplexing footage that emerged from India in 2016. It appears to show a self-aware plant that moves on its own. The neem plant, which was discovered by a man in Sircilla in the Indian state of Telangana, seems to rotate and react to people watching it. In the footage, you can clearly see the strange little plant swivel back and forth and move seemingly of its own free will. News quickly spread of the mysterious shrub, and soon hundreds of people descended upon the small town just north of Hyderabad. Neem trees are considered sacred by Hindus, and so the bizarre occurrence was seen as a sign from God. People from all over the country began worshipping the plant, performing rituals and celebrating the miraculous event. The Indian government invited top geologists from around the world to study the plant. Their conclusion was that neem trees often have small, flexible root systems that can be manipulated by underground currents of water, giving the impression that the plant is moving on its own. While
The thing is, plants do actually move anyway. Believe it or not, I mean, I suppose it sounds a bit crazy, but it's the only way I can explain it, because I've got to just click my fingers. It's like if you look at the flowers in your garden, flower bed, they don't go anywhere, do they? They stay in one spot. So you could call them domesticated plants. It's because they don't have to travel or move, sort of thing. But if you actually film flowers in the wildlife and then speed the footage up, you find they actually move. Plants actually move. Yeah, because they're actually alive. You know what I mean? It's like yeah, I might do a video on that actually about plants being alive. But yeah, and they have some form of sentience. But yeah, the whole idea that plants move anyways is not unnatural. The fact that it's moving like that, and like say, because of water underground and stuff. So, you know, but even if it wasn't that, I wouldn't have been, ooh, it's a miracle, you know, because plants move. You know what I mean? So, it's alright, it's not COVID, I had something in my throat.
Plausible explanation has been put forth. Hindus all over the world prefer to think that the plant is a gift from God, hailing it as a divine miracle. Although it's more common for ghostly spirits to appear in isolated spots, the Facebook page Real Ghost Videos shows us that apparitions can appear just about anywhere. This video was shot on a phone camera in a busy street bustling with people somewhere in India. While several groups of onlookers watch in amazement, the handle of a water pump begins to inexplicably move up and down all on its own. Although numerous people surround the pump, no one can be seen touching the apparatus. Some viewers have speculated that the video was faked by moving the pump with a piece of fishing line. However, the amazed onlookers who surround the water pump and take videos of its movements suggest that there's no one nearby moving the pump manually.
I'm not saying it's possible, but could it be pressure, reverse pressure? Because you know how certain things that, what do you call it? So if you look at emergency valves, on not say like when you watch films or footage on submarines and stuff, you know the ones that tighten up. Well, they sometimes unscrew, don't they? Because of pressure, and they go pooh and shoot off. So could reverse pressure cause that to try and resist the mechanism so it moves? If that makes sense, do you know what I mean? It's just an idea.
Other viewers have proposed that the unexplained movement could be the work of a jinn, a supernatural creature found in Islamic folklore. Descriptions of jinns vary widely, but they're typically believed to be benevolent. That seems to be the case with this jinn, who takes the time to pump some water for anyone who might visit the tap. Or perhaps, as some viewers have suggested, the jinn itself was feeling thirsty. There's been no concrete explanations for this video, but most seem content to believe that it actually was the work of a mysterious spirit. This next clip is like something out of an Indiana Jones movie. In the Indian state of Karnataka, workers were excavating a site near Sadashivgad Fort as part of a roadworks operation when they uncovered an ancient Shiva shrine. It was unearthed when part of the mountainside collapsed during the works.
Kalima Shaktive. Kalima. Sorry.
In the footage, beside the possibly centuries-old relic, a cobra is standing guard. It hisses at workers, warning them to not come any closer. According to legend, the god Shiva wore a cobra around their neck, symbolizing the control of death in the past, present, and future. Could this be an omen sent from the gods to protect this sacred site, or is it all just a bizarre coincidence? This terrifying footage, uploaded to the YouTube channel Mumbai Ka Nikhil, features the notoriously haunted Ari roads of India. Late night travel in this area is discouraged, as it's not only a hotspot for ghost sightings and thieves, but the thick vegetation along the roads also hides wild animals like leopards. These leopards usually prey upon smaller animals. However, in recent years, increased human encroachment into their natural habitat has turned some leopards into man-eaters. On the 22nd of December 2016, the headless body of a 22-year-old man was also found in the area. Rather than suspecting the dangerous leopards, the Mumbai police thought that it could have been a human sacrifice performed by local tantric bubbas. Many who are familiar with the area report tales of ghosts trying to hitch rides with those foolish enough to travel the roads at night. As the clip begins, we see a man travelling by motorcycle. It's dark and there's already an uneasy feeling that something's not quite right. Suddenly, a figure appears in the road. Reacting quickly, the biker does his best to avoid a collision. He then briefly looks back but is unable to see the mysterious person. Confused, the biker then stops and turns his headlights in the direction of the figure. However, there's nobody there. While it's unclear just exactly who or what the figure was, it's possible that it could have been a criminal. Luckily, the rider doesn't hang around to find out and speeds away from the area. Interestingly, if you slow the footage down, the figure actually seems to have no head. Given the story of the man whose headless body was found in the area, the figure's appearance suggests he may, in fact, have been the headless ghost of that very man, perhaps attempting to hitch a ride out of this horrific spot once and for all.
Yeah, but it's fair though, if you look at the top bit, the way the arc of the headlight finishes, the arch near the top bit, it's very hard to tell because he could have dark hair. So, and it's potato quality film.
CCTV cameras are often the source of spooky videos. The fact that they run 24/7 means that they have a chance to see what occurs when no one's around. Such is the case in this CCTV footage captured in Indonesia. Although likely not the source of the video, the clip has since been uploaded to YouTube by user Musahuri Arifin. The footage focuses on an outdoor space, with the camera pointed towards a handful of motorbikes. From the beginning of the video, a blurred shape is visible floating from one end of the screen to the other. Far too large to be a piece of dust, the shape appears to pause right in front of a doorway, before it finally enters the building. As the mysterious shape looks as though it's moving with too much purpose to be purely coincidental, this CCTV footage is likely to leave skeptics scratching their heads. This video, uploaded to YouTube by user Rohit Mukherjee, may actually depict a ghost caught on camera. According to the title of the video, this sighting took place late one night in Tatanagar, India. While walking home from work, the man behind the camera heard strange shrieking noises coming from nearby. Continuing to make his way down the path, the man began to notice there was something not quite right about the trees nearby. Taking out his mobile phone and focusing on the trees in order to get a better look, the man was soon disturbed by what he saw. The video shows a small shadowy figure seemingly walking on air, floating between the trees, or at the very least balancing on a very thin branch. Understandably disturbed by what he sees, especially when it seems the figure notices him, the man shouts and runs in the opposite direction. According to the description of the video, he screams, "Oh God, run," in another language. The outline of the human figure suspended in the trees is clearly visually distressing, but still brings us no closer to answering what exactly is going on in this very creepy video. This video, uploaded to YouTube by Music Lover World, has captured something very bizarre at the Eden Hospital in Dimapur, India. The footage shows what appears to be a patient preparing to leave the hospital. They suddenly stop in their tracks when they notice that one of the wheelchairs is moving on its own. At first, the movements are slight, but it's definitely moving. As he watches more closely, the wheelchair's movements become more obvious. After a few seconds, it turns to face him and begins rolling towards the door, almost as if it's targeting him specifically. The patient then turns and begins to run in the opposite direction. Just like the earlier video with the moving wheelchair, some viewers believe that this clip is staged using a remote control. However, if you take a closer look at the wheelchair, it doesn't appear to have any equipment or remote control receiver attached to it. Could then this wheelchair be under the control of something supernatural? This YouTuber insists that it was actually driven by a real ghost. This next clip comes from a security camera outside the Postgraduate Institute of...
He did seem genuinely scared, didn't he? And sometimes that's what you've got to look out for, isn't it? And of course, it's a hoax done by the hospital in question. You know what I mean? But apart from that, it's like usually you go by their reaction, you know what I mean? Because some people are like, oh, and they do that really fake, scared reaction sort of thing, where he was like, he got the fuck out of there, didn't he?
Medical education and research in Chandigarh, India. At the start of the creepy footage, we see a wheelchair parked along the edge of a patio. Things get really spooky when the wheelchair suddenly begins to move forward on its own. It crosses the patio, rolls down the stairs before continuing onto the sidewalk. It eventually enters the garden and steers itself around a pillar as it heads for the hospital exit.
He's getting the fuck out of there, son. He's had enough of this hospital. He wants to get out.
The director of the hospital believes that the incident can be explained by a smooth floor and wind, but others are less sure. The security guard seen in the footage insists that there was no wind that night and that the patio was eerily cold. He and other members of the hospital staff believe that the footage depicts a ghost, possibly the spirit of someone who died at the hospital, attempting to make their escape. The staff are so terrified that many are reluctant to work the night shift, where they might encounter the restless spirit.
He's gone, mate. Why, what about he's gone?
In some creepy videos, every detail conspires to paint a truly chilling picture. That is certainly the case with this footage shot on a phone camera in India. In the video, it appears that the person behind the lens decided to capture a video while riding a motorbike along a dark road. We can occasionally spot another rider passing by and bits of landscape, but the footage is largely dark. Suddenly, the bike's headlamp catches something bright and white reflecting in the dark. After a few seconds, the image comes into focus, and we see a mysterious figure standing in the road. The figure appears just as a wolf begins to howl in the night. The ghostly figure wears a flowing white dress that billows in the breeze. It's too dark to see its face, but long dark hair spills over the front of the stark white dress. The figure doesn't seem to move as the filmer approaches. The video is mostly silent, only capturing the baying wolves and the filmer's panicked breaths. Towards the end of the footage, the filmer gets close enough to make out some blurry features on a pallid face. After that, the video abruptly ends, with no indication of what happened to the poor soul.
I'm going to say fake on that. Shall I tell you why? I could be wrong, but I'm going to give you my reasons why I think it's fake. It's because the arms look perfectly healthy skin tone, and the face looks grey like a mask, you know what I mean? This bit here looks like it's a bit of rubber or latex or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like those party masks sort of thing. So it could be someone out pranking people.
Who came across this ghostly apparition.
You know what I mean? The arms, the face, you know, the whole skin colour would be the same, if it makes sense. You know what I mean? They look too healthy. They look too... You know what I mean? It looks like a woman with a Halloween mask on, basically. You know what I mean? It doesn't look consistent with something that looks undead. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Hunting for cryptids is a passion for many paranormal believers around the globe. These hunters frequently take to the forests to search for evidence of creatures that many believe are purely mythical. This video came as a shock to many such hunters. In the video, we learn that new evidence of the existence of the Yeti may have been accidentally discovered by the Indian Army. The official verified Twitter page of the Indian Army's Additional Directorate General of Public Information posted photos of what they claim to be Yeti footprints. The photos were taken during an expedition near the Makalu base camp, an isolated mountain area between Nepal and Tibet. According to the video, the footprints measured 32 by 15 inches. According to the original Twitter post, Makalu Barun National Park has been a common location for Yeti sightings in the past, which they believe gives validity to the find. However, skeptics have pointed to numerous scientific studies done in the past that have debunked evidence that the Yeti is hiding in the Himalayas.
Yeah, I said in one of my other videos, they had what was it? There's a program. I can't remember if it was a panorama program or something like that. I wouldn't say it's Discovery because I haven't got a Discovery Channel, but they did a while ago, and they also found out they exposed the original footage of the Yeti, the one that's walking across in colour. I was looking at that camera. It looks like a gorilla, walking gorilla. That's been, and people still love that footage, still believe in it, but it's been exposed as fake. They actually found the studio where they made that costume. So yeah, that got a lot of exposed. But they got an expert who studies apes. Can't remember names of what you call them. They got, is it anthropologists, the ones that study like evolution of man, and stuff like that. So they got these different experts from different fields, from wildlife to evolution, all that kind of stuff. Got these different experts to work together in a think tank, and even by just going by the so-called cast of footprints that people had, they debunked it as this, like, because there's no way it could physically walk if it had footprints like that or feet like that as the prints make out, and all kinds of factors. But yeah, that's quite interesting. So yeah, they kind of long since debunked the Yeti and Bigfoot and all that sort of stuff. So they've explained why. I can't remember if they said there's some parts of the world where it might be apes, because there's, in nature there's still breeds of things that we are discovering, like even in the Amazon rainforest we're still discovering various new species. But in terms of it being what we think or being told in the cryptids, as it were, it's been debunked. And yet people still keep going about Bigfoot and say they've seen Bigfoot.
This video was supposedly captured in India by a farmer who was searching for missing livestock using a night vision camera. After walking for some time, the farmer, as if startled by a strange noise, turns towards a large tree. He points the camera up into the branches where he spots some sort of bizarre creature perched among the leaves. The farmer zooms in for a closer look at the beast. However, it appears to take him several seconds to actually realise what he's looking at. The creature looks crouched as if ready to leap at the distraught farmer. He then lets out a panicked gasp and quickly flees the area. If you take a closer look as he initially zooms in on the creature, you can see that it appears to be moving. However, it could just be a shadow cast by the camera's light that's creating the illusion. It has a relatively large head for its body size, and looks as though it's perched in a manner similar to that of an insect or even a frog. While the poor camera quality makes it difficult to see the creature in any great detail, whatever it is certainly startled the farmer. Could it be possible that this is the creature responsible for the farmer's missing livestock? Without further information, we may never learn the truth behind this mysterious video. A 5th grade student in Kanpur, India, made headlines in 2015 when he captured a surprisingly clear photo of what appeared to be a flying saucer. He was out taking photos of the clouds, and when he zoomed in on one of his photos, he was shocked to see the saucer flying in the sky. The photo was so clear that many have begun to doubt its authenticity. They believe the photo was in some way doctored to make it look like there was a UFO in the sky.
See, that's a problem, because my old man, he's stubborn, because he can't seem to wrap round his head this whole modern day climate. Because it's all very good saying, oh yeah, but there's proof of UFOs. Everyone's got mobile phones now. We can get evidence of all these things and stuff like that. Makes no difference. In today's world, makes no difference. You can get apps now where you can put... There are UFO camera apps in the App Store where you can take a picture, a photo, say if you're out, say, walking a dog, can take a picture, you can put the UFO on it, you can also adjust its opacity and stuff like that, so it looks, and there's one I used to have which is really good, I can't remember what it's called, but you could actually adjust it so it'll not the opacity, it affects it like opacity, like that same sort of tool, but what it actually cleverly does is it blends it in so it's indistinguishable from the original image. So the sky, it looks like a part of the sky, so it looks like part of the photo rather than it looking like it was stamped on there. So people go, oh yeah, but we've got mobile phones these days, we have lots of evidence there's aliens and UFOs. Not today's climate. You could be someone who's watching this saying, I've got a UFO on my phone. I'm not doubting you, but the thing is, as I'm sure you'll know, these days with computers and graphics, all things you can do these days, it's very hard to. You could have an alien, you could sit in the bloody garden, you can go down the park at night and sit with an alien. People wouldn't believe you. They'd be like, oh, CGI. It's very hard to prove anything these days because of computers are so good. I mean, yeah, to a degree. If you went to like an actual photo digital analyst, then yeah, they could go, that's fake. They could actually analyse it, strip it apart. But apart from that, it makes no difference if the whole population if there's UFOs in the sky and the population took a picture of it. I mean, it does add weight because loads of people have seen it, but still, if you were just see it on YouTube, it's easy to just miss it. You know what I mean?
However, the boy and his family are at...
Because, in this day and age, the camera can't lie, unfortunately. They used to say, oh, the camera doesn't lie. It can now.
They've stated that they'll willingly subject the photo to testing, but so far no tests of authenticity have been forthcoming. This is some creepy footage taken by the security cameras at the Apollo Hospital in Chennai, India. In the clip, we see a set of automatic doors at the entrance to one of the wings of the hospital. In the beginning, the doors open normally for a man entering the building. Then a short while later, the doors begin to open and close on their own. This happens a number of times. On the second time, a strange distorted shape appears behind the glass. It almost looks like two children kneeling on the floor. The clip has since gone viral throughout the subcontinent, with many saying the figure is the ghost of Jayalalitha, a prominent politician and actress who died mysteriously at the Apollo Hospital. According to news reports, the influential figure was recovering in hospital when suddenly her condition declined and she died of septic shock. Locals are now saying that her spirit wanders the halls of the Apollo Hospital, perhaps unaware that she's even died. Could this security camera have captured a glimpse of her restless spirit, or is there a simpler explanation?
I can't explain the shape on the window. I mean, that could be. Mind you, that depends. You can if you have to, they have to get. I'd say probably get that digitally analysed so they can see the to measure, see if that's a close object or one that's further away. Because if it's one that's further away inside the hall, that could be a reflection from something distant. The doors doing that, the only time I've seen that myself, being in the job I work, is sometimes the doors, if there's a bug in the door, it will go, you know what I mean? Because it did that in the footage, didn't it? And you could put it onto that as an explanation, because also, if it registered something or someone was there, it would just go, it wouldn't go, and then back. You mean, it wouldn't, I can't see my hands, it wouldn't go, you know what I mean? It would just go, it would just open and close normally as if someone was there. You know what I mean? I don't know, that's giving me ideas, but yeah, that's the way I can think of.
The footage began circulating on WhatsApp in May 2018. It appears to show a lady scaling the walls of a building. She has long black hair and a hospital gown or white dress on. The most striking part of the clip is the ease of which the figure climbs the wall. She must have phenomenal...
It's a grudge.
phenomenal strength to ascend so quickly and skillfully. The clip has been shared thousands of times, and it seems with each new share the story changes somewhat.
Not really. You're surprised there's locals that climb trees, isn't it? Like big palm trees. It's just, if you're, I mean, also if you're barefooted, if she's barefooted, it's easier to grab your feet. I mean, I'm saying, I couldn't do it. Fuck that.
The camera in Virar West San Giovanni Hospital in Mumbai. Others mention Ulhasnagar Central Hospital and the Government Hospital Bathinda, all locations throughout India. Another version claims that a student filmed the video when they woke up in the middle of the night to pee. They noticed what they called a jinn or spirit climbing the walls of the building behind their apartment. But this version took place in Karachi, Pakistan. Viewers all over the world have debated the footage. A lot of people are saying it's the ghost of a former patient of one of the hospitals. Some think it might even be someone who has escaped from the psychiatric ward. Although the accounts and locations vary, it still doesn't detract from the creepy piece of footage. Seeing the lady eerily climb the wall is enough to give you chills every time. As we've mentioned,
it is freaking it, but it could be, yeah, it could be a person trying to escape, get out. You know, because if they're weird, if they're weird in the head, they're going to do all kinds of weird shit, aren't they?
Previously, tales of a woman in white are told the world over, and sightings of this eerie figure are common. In this video uploaded to YouTube by Devil's Discovery, it seems that this spirit might have been captured on camera yet again, this time in Araku, India. The footage shows two men walking along a set of railroad tracks in the dark, with little more than a flashlight to guide them. They continue chatting back and forth, perhaps in an effort to distract their minds from the situation they find themselves in. For the majority of the footage, nothing of note happens. However, just before the video ends, the pair suddenly spot a chilling figure in the distance. Take a look. The figure is draped in a long white garment and walks slowly across the tracks, appearing to take little notice of the two men. The shaky camera footage makes it difficult to get a clear look at the figure before it disappears into the darkness. The idea of a woman in white haunting a train route certainly isn't unheard of in India. In fact, the Begun Kodor train station in West Bengal, India, is known for a ghostly woman who walks near the tracks draped in a white sari. It's believed that the woman died on the tracks and now haunts the place where she met her end. Some even blame this spirit for the untimely demise of several railroad workers. Could this eerie figure seen in this video be a similar spirit? Unfortunately, without additional information, the identity of this woman in white will have to remain a mystery, at least for the time being. This is another odd piece of footage coming out of India. In June 2018, people began sharing a video titled "Strange Alien Caught Attacking Animals in Karnataka Village." The clip, which was allegedly filmed in Karnataka in southwest India, shows a masked figure squatting in a barn. A villager looks to be fending the creature off with a makeshift axe. While the title of the video alludes to this creature being an alien, it clearly looks to be a child wearing a mask with a matted wig. Some claim it might even be a monkey wearing a mask. Where the story gets most peculiar is that local villagers had been reporting livestock and other animals dying of mysterious circumstances. They said they would find cows, sheep and goats afflicted with strange bite marks and other wounds. The animals would then perish soon after. It's difficult to tell whether the reports of dead livestock have simply been paired with this bizarre footage to create a sensational story, or whether this strange masked figure really has been killing animals in the village. On the 16th of January 2018,
I'm sorry, but that's definitely fake. That's definitely a mask. And if it is too small to be a child, it's going to be a monkey or something. You mean they've got like a mask figure with a bit of cloth and just stuck on top. You mean you can see it's fake.
Calcutta, India, captured some very strange footage. At 11:55 p.m, a riderless TVS Apache motorbike cruises straight through the intersection. A white sedan in the middle of the zebra crossing seems to pause suddenly as it notices the ghostly motorbike pass by. No one has been able to definitively explain this video. There were unconfirmed reports of a possible accident minutes earlier in which the rider was thrown off the bike, but somehow the bike itself managed to stay upright, travelling perfectly down the road and through this intersection. What do you think's going on in this video? Has this bike actually managed to stay upright after an accident, or is it being controlled by some other mysterious force? Now, if you want to see some more freaky clips, then check out that link on the top there. Otherwise, we have these giant paranormal playlists right there for you to binge on. Now, if you want to get your name scrolling along the top there, consider supporting our Patreon campaign. There's a link in the description box below. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.
Oh, another good one, Callum. Another good one. Yeah, some freaky weird stuff going on there, but yeah, some can be explained in that. So, but yeah. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Thanks for watching it with me. If you like my video, if you like this video, hit the like. And if you haven't already, then please subscribe, and I'll love you forever. And as always, the link to the channel that I react to is in the description below. So go check it out over and show love support over there as well. Okay? Until next time, folks, take care. Bye-bye.